What is meant by socialization? Socialization is the process by which we learn to become humans, normal, functioning members of society. And this includes everything from learning how to eat, how to walk, how to appropriately use a restroom, how to interact with others, everything from very basic stuff that's, begins in infancy really, and as an infant, all the way to things like our values and belief systems. There are a few ways, there's an abundance of ways that we do this, but for the purposes of this course level, there are predominantly your family, your peers, meaning friend group, the media, and our education system. So your family teaches you the most and the first, right? They are the most significant form of socialization. They teach you those basic life skills, but they also begin to plant seeds for your value system. What you think about, race and gender and jobs and authorities and material goods, and what you find important, what you find good, what you find bad. Those things are like I said, seeds are planted even before you are fully able to understand what those things mean. Next, most people start school, if they haven't already been in some kind of daycare or learning program, by the age of 5 or 6 in some states. And of course, in education, you learn math and writing and spelling, but you learn so much more than that. You start to learn to respect someone other than your parents, that other people can tell you what to do. If you haven't already learned that from other family members or other authority figures. You start to learn things like punctuality, following the rules, standing in a line, waiting your turn, competition. You learn all of these things in education, in our education system. You're taught so much more than just reading, writing, and arithmetic, right? You're taught kind of how to function in a group setting where you are not the leader. Your friends, your peer group is next. They teach you sort of what's cool. And typically, preteen to teen years, people tend to think that their peers they don't think. Your peers become the most important group for you. What they think matters more than anything else. It matters more than what your parents have taught you. It matters more than what your teachers have said. Your friends become everything. For those of you who have teenagers, it's good to know that at some point that levels off and they start to revert back to what they've learned. What we all go through this. We start to go back to those original values taught to us by our parents. And then we have the media. And when I have assignments where students talk about how the media has influenced them, especially for young girls, it is astounding the influence that the media has on them. But I know this is true for young boys, young men, young women, young people in general. We learn from the media, and I'm not talking about news media, although we could go down that entire rabbit hole as well, but just Instagram, we start to learn what is fashionable, what is cool, what is pretty, what is luxurious. That's kind of where how do we decide what's cool to wear and what isn't? If we didn't have the media, how would we ever know? We would just wear what we wanted. Wouldn't that be insane? You also get to an age where that is what happens there. But, there is no limit. There is no age limit to where you stop consuming those things and you stop seeing how we're supposed to look, what we're supposed to like, what is popular, what is unpopular, So those are all forms of socialization. A lot of sociology textbooks also use as one of those key agents of socialization religion. Now, not everyone follows a religion, not everyone grows up with a religion, but if you did, or if you do, or are, then religion is also one of those key components of socialization that teaches you all kinds of things about good and bad, right and wrong. Your values and your belief system are often taught from there as well. And those also start, very early, if that is the way that that you were raised. And what's interesting about this sociologically, all these things that I just mentioned, your family, religion, your friends, I talk about this a lot in class, in videos, or in face-to-face, whatever, that we tend to think of ourselves as really unique individuals. But if you, with your genetics, were plucked out of your home life as a baby and dropped into a different country, in a different family, with different peers, a different education system, different religion, you would be entirely different. And the things that we feel so strongly about, I am no different. The things that I feel so strongly about, passionately about, that are just a part of me, if I were plucked and placed elsewhere, there's a good chance that I would not feel passionately about the things I do, but probably about completely different things. Our identity would be completely different if our agents of socialization were also entirely different. It's really crazy to think about. So that's my quick 7 minutes on socialization.